our email list, and also a way that you can actually monetize your audience as well. So it's been really fun for us. We're actually like putting on our own things like this that we're going to tell you about in just a second, and we're also like students in other people's things that they do like this. So what is it that we're going to talk
I
about?
love your teaser there. I mean, we all know that with any business, like lead flow is the lifeblood, right? Like it is how your business can grow and sustain yourself.
Yeah.
So it's important to have a good structure and a good freebie to get people into your business, into your ecosystem. But just offering PDF reports, which are awesome, or free video trainings are great, but sometimes they don't get all the benefits that you want. Like they don't really get people to take action as much.
Yeah.
But what Susie's going to talk about is a way that we've been doing recently. It's super duper fun. What is it?
Challenges. So especially in the beginning of the year, people want a fresh start. You can even do this like back to school. When people want to kind of have a reset, it's fun to do a challenge. So you can either offer it for free to grow your email list, or as a paid challenge if it has a couple more additional resources and it comes with a community and all that, right? But what I really like about it is it really helps you build your brand, especially in the beginning. It's not just here's a PDF, get it, and like, okay, thanks for using it, you're bye, or goodbye, or
You're bye.
you're bye. But a challenge is something where people sign up and they are prepared to get a couple emails to lead them through the challenge. So can you explain kind of what is a challenge?
Yeah, let's start there.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Already in the benefits. So ultimately, your business is there to get people from point A to point B. Whether you're trying to get them from not knowing anything about oil painting to being an expert at that, or about getting your kid to sleep, your business is about transforming them from where they are to where they want to be. And a challenge is essentially an on the rails, like it's going through. There's a progression there, and it gets them what they need. It helps them walk through the process. It keeps them accountable. There's many different ways of doing this: email sequences, video courses, live trainings in Facebook, and things like that. And the how is not as important as the what, like what it is that you're trying to get them to do. So, like, what is a good idea for a challenge? Like, what's too much? What's too little?
All right, well, let's just take like a real life example. I'm currently in a challenge. It has nothing to do with online business or blogging or digital marketing. And don't laugh at me. It's all, you've been very supportive.
It's awesome.
It's all about like growing your hair really long with like natural products, but not only just natural stuff you can buy in store, but actually like making your own shampoos. So back a long time ago when I was a kid in high school, I used to like to make my own face masks and walk around with oatmeal and yogurt and honey on my face, and so good we didn't know each other back then. I was still a kid, but I'm like back into it, and this awesome woman has this course where she challenges us for like 14 days on how to unlearn things that you put on your hair and to make it more natural. So this beautiful mess that you guys are seeing is all my own making. We're still halfway through the challenge, so it's going to get better. But that's a real life example of a challenge that I'm in currently of something to better my hair care routine. So as simple and as kind of profound as that, you can do that as a challenge.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's a really cool example.
Thank you.
To like distill that down, I think a good challenge is something that's like very focused.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be an expert in an overall topic. It's trying to get that quick win, that result, that momentum driver. It's going to, if they achieve a success with this one thing, they're going to see the light, or they're going to know what the next steps are, and they're going to be more motivated to go and pursue it. Oftentimes, people will give out these big 100-page ebooks as their freebies, and you might get a really good overview of the thing, the industry, the topic, but it's not very actionable. And then they're downloading it and they're like, what next? And that's not really the good feeling you want to give your subscribers.
Yeah. So any of the printables that you guys are making, the ebooks, all of them could be part of a challenge, right? So you have a printable that guides somebody through the 5 steps of putting your child to sleep every night so that they have a good night of sleep and then they're a happy little guy the next day. So that 5 steps could be broken down into a 5-day challenge where instead of just sending them that PDF, now you not really have the excuse, but now they expect to be challenged and to hear from you for 5 days. They're like, oh, I signed up for this challenge. I'm going to do this. I'm going to hear from this creator for the next 5 days. I'm going to start getting to know her more, actually going through the PDF and implementing the steps. So I kind of think challenges and small digital products really work well together.
Totally. And I'm curious, in the comments, let us know if you're taking any challenges and how, if you've gotten results. Like, I know you guys have downloaded freebies in the past. If you've taken a challenge, let us know what that was all about and if it was a good experience for you compared to the classic freebie model. I'd be curious.
Right. Yeah, I love that. Like, kind of see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we talked about this in another YouTube video a while back, where if you just change the title of the freebie or the product that you have, sometimes that will increase your conversions, right? So maybe you have a printable on, I don't know, how to make your own shampoo. So maybe it's converting okay. What if you add a 5-email sequence to that, and now it's a challenge to detoxify your hair care routine? So they still get that PDF, and now they get 5 little emails. And what I currently did, I have a 10-day challenge where you guys can learn how to make your first $100 or get your email list to 100 subscribers. And I set up the 10 emails, and I know it's a lot of work. You're like, oh, how am I going to write so many emails? But they were pretty short. And now, as I see more people sign up, I can always go back and add some more.
That's fantastic. And so, sorry, I was reading some awesome comments here. So one of the benefits there, Susie just said, you might be thinking it's overwhelming to create a challenge and to write 10 emails. Well, I've got a trick for you, and it's great for people who love to procrastinate, kind of like me.
What's this trick?
Is you don't have to do it in advance. You can do it with them. So let's say, for example, you know what the result is. You want them to get their email subscribers. You want them to, I don't know, get that 10 pounds or whatever, whatever the case might be. So if you have that challenge and you kind of have an idea about what the steps are, you can just do a very brief little Word document outline of the 10 steps. Like what would you need to cover? What are those steps to achieve that goal? And then you can create a pop-up Facebook group. Or you could simply have them opt in, and then you can broadcast that list. Or you can do it live. I like going live on video. It's unedited. It's a bit more raw. It's a bit more realistic with the person. And so if you can sometimes not get yourself to go and make those 10 emails, you can just have them sign up or join a free group. And then if it's great, you can continue to use it evergreen. If it's not, you can do it again. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
I like that idea of like send to your broadcast, hey, we're going to do a challenge for 5 days. Maybe start with 5 days. And then you get the people who signed up to that segment. And you, as each day goes by, you just write 1 email that day. And then Tuesday, write another email, and Wednesday. And then by Friday, they've gone through the challenge, and you've completed your challenge of writing the 5 emails. And then you can just do it evergreen. So that's pretty cool. You can do it as you're getting feedback. I really like that.
That's why we get the big bucks.
Because of your awesome ideas.
No.
All right. Another thing I want to note on, challenge sequences. Compared to welcome sequences or sales sequences, like I'm talking about like a drip of emails that they get, challenge sequences get better open rates, right? So, because people they're committed. I signed up for this. I want to go through the challenge. They feel like it's fine. It's like a smart girl, right?
Yeah.
It's what's
specific?
Specific.
Measurable. Yeah, because they know it's like, hey, this is email 2 of 10, or email. They know where they're going.
Thank you.
It's attainable because they know what the goal is. It's realistic because it's your job to make sure you don't promise the moon and then underdeliver. And it's time bound because they know they're taking a 7-day challenge. So it's exactly a smart goal, and people will gravitate to that because they know exactly what they're getting, who they're getting it with, and when it's going to be done. Right. Which is great.
And you don't need fancy software to do it. You can use your ConvertKit or your MailerLite or MailChimp. Yeah. You can start off with just a quick email sequence or even a Facebook group if you want to.
Totally. And what's beautiful about that is I get a lot of questions on the techie side where people said, hey, my subscribers are telling me that my emails are going to spam or I'm not getting delivered. And what's beautiful about challenge funnels, you know where I'm going with this, right?
I love it.
She likes it. Is that because you're going to get these higher open rates, because the email itself is what they're asking for, they're actually asking for the emails as the opt-in instead of being this like unnecessary side benefit of opting in. You're going to train ConvertKit, you're going to train Gmail, you're going to train AOL Messenger or email, that's even a thing, that you actually send good emails because people are opening them. If you ask for them to respond back in the challenge as like, hey, just reply back with a quick, I did it for today's challenge, that's actually training the internet that you send good emails because it's creating conversations. So it's not just promotional stuff. So that's a big benefit if you're just getting started to kind of uplift your internet reputation for sending.
I like that. I like that. So if you've been struggling to create a small digital product, to do a live video, to have another way of growing your email list, maybe challenges would be perfect for you. You can set up a 5 email sequence challenge that they can sign up for. Benefits, it increases your open rates, it increases your authority on email servers, and it builds your brand really quickly. I like that.
Totally.
Yeah, and then you can always add your workshops or your lives or your printables to your challenge and even make it more valuable. What would be the difference between a free and a paid challenge? I think that might be a question that we will get.
It's a great question. I think for you as the seller, it's going to be quantity versus quality. Are you looking to build a big email list of people who aren't very engaged? I've seen a lot of people who do challenges and maybe half the people show up on day 1, 20% of the people show up on day 2, and then you're talking to your few true fans by day 3, day 4, day 5. And that's okay if you just want to get your list going and maybe build the confidence.
Yeah.
But if you're going to charge even a small amount, $7, 7-day challenge and for $7, like something like that, you're going to weed out a lot of the people that won't really engage with you anyways, and you'll get the people that will actually take action. You'll get more results with fewer people in. Again, quantity versus quality. It depends on where you're at in your business.
Yeah.
And what about from the buyer side? Like if I'm taking a free challenge versus a paid challenge?
Free challenges from a buyer side, I would expect it just be a couple emails, maybe a PDF as a little bonus here and there. That's a good free one. If it's paid, I'm expecting some videos. I'm expecting a couple PDFs or worksheets that kind of help and guide me through it, and potentially a bigger problem, and not just like a small problem, a small challenge, but something a little bit bigger, then I would be willing to pay for it. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely. And what's beautiful about doing challenges is if people go through your challenge and they get results, they are way more likely to want to continue to work with you.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Exactly. So if you download an ebook and you read it and you're like, well, that was nice, but my life is still the same as it was before I read the ebook, you still have the same hurdle to overcome if you want them to buy into your paid program, your membership, your coaching, your course, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
But if they got value in advance, like VIA is like the classic thing you always think about. If you can give value in advance, where not only do you delight them with your personality or like send really funny emails, but you get them a result that actually helps their business, the next domino to knock over to get them to become a customer is already halfway tipped over.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. So Barbara asked an example of an email challenge. If you guys want to see what I'm doing for my email challenge, because it's free and it's probably something that you guys would want to kind of start off with offering a free challenge, and then eventually if that's doing really well, you can go into paid challenges. If you go to startamomblog.com/10 days, 10 days, the link will be below, and you guys can sign up for my days or my challenge to help you build your email list and your income. But you can kind of see the email sequence that you'll be put on, and you're welcome to kind of get ideas and examples from that.
Totally. I love that.
There's one thing that you said that I had such a good idea on. What did you just say?
That I love you. And you're so good at everything.
Oh, yes. Giving them value, letting them see a result. And, okay, yeah, this was it.
Yeah.
Got it. Woo! Okay, so if you give them an ebook, say the ebook has the exact same information than your challenge would have, right? So me as the buyer, or as a student, I would get the ebook. I would glance through it. It would take me 20 minutes or whatnot. I would take the information out of it, and then I would go on and do my own thing. I would forget about the ebook, right? But because it's a challenge, there's no possible way for me to devour all the information in 20 minutes. I have to wait for tomorrow to get the next tip on what I should be doing. I have to wait then 2 days. And then I devour that little tip that I get every day so much because okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to apply it. Because I'm not getting all 5 tips at once, I actually I have to implement, because I can't just devour and then forget. So I really like the challenge instead of just blasting all the information at them and then them not seeing results.
Yeah, to me it's kind of like Netflix versus the old cable channels of back in the day. If you think back before Netflix, I can't even remember that far back, but you'd watch, I remember in college, I used to love watching the show 24 with Jack Bauer. It was the entire season was one day, and it would like every hour would be its own episode. It was like really unbelievably like out there. Anyways, it was great. As a guy, I like this stuff. And at the end of the episode, there's always that cliffhanger. There's always like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Like they're setting the stage for the next episode. But you have to wait a week. And so, like, I'm thinking about that show for 7 days.
Yeah.
There's no action to take because it was just a toy.
But you're thinking about
But
it.
you're hooked in. You're so much more invested. And now with Netflix, it's like a different model. Netflix is kind of like giving them the whole ebook,
Yeah.
the whole thing. If they like it, they're going to pursue it and go through with it. But it doesn't kind of keep them thinking about you from beyond that moment.
You binge it. That's the
Yeah.
word.
And binging is great. Like, there's not one that's right or wrong. But if you've never tried the dripping or like giving it to them over the course of time, it's definitely worth taking a look at. We've seen some amazing open
Yeah.
rates, and the engagement is really there.
Yeah. All right. So I think that was a couple cool tips. Thanks for all the help, John.
Totally.
Appreciate it. So thank you guys for being here. If you want to be part of the challenge, link will be below, startamomblog.com/10 days.
And that's the number 10
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, number
not
10. It's
TEN.
always confusing. I was just doing it real quick, and I'm like, oh, it works.
Love it.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for the great conversation. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.
Thank
Take
you
care.
guys. Bye.
Bye.